This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
You guys, I just found the most incredible Mother's Day gift. It's called Goldbelly. Goldbelly is this amazing site where you can get the most iconic foods from restaurants all across the U.S., shipped anywhere in the country for free in time for Mother's Day. We're talking cakes from Ina Garten and Martha Stewart, Magnolia Bakery's famous banana pudding, and New York bagel brunches. Make Mother's Day perfect with Goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code MOM. That's Goldbelly.com, promo code MOM.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Business owners, meet Progressive Insurance. They make it easy to get discounts on commercial auto insurance and find coverages to grow with your business. Quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
You need a vacation, so why not come play in LA? Fill your days with fun and let Los Angeles dazzle you with iconic landmarks, epic scenery, and stunning coastlines. And when the sun goes down, it's the perfect place to enjoy world-class dining and nightlife. Let play lead the way and soak up all this city has to offer. Start planning your LA getaway now at visitcalifornia.com.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
What's so funny is that we put all this, or I put in all this work. No, I'm just kidding. We kind of like dive into this draft and we do all this, who we gonna take, what's gonna happen, and like I'm literally sitting here at 23. We pick at 28, and I know it gets harder in the other rounds, and I'm literally sitting here going, this is such an easy non-stress right now. I'm literally just going to sit here, and I'm going to take Will Johnson, Malachi Starks, Mike Green, Donovan Ezaraku, or Jihad Campbell, basically. You know, one of those guys will be there, and that'll be my pick. So it's very easy, very straightforward. Yes, at Chops in the D will probably copy and paste what I just said, and maybe even my pick when I say it first, but that is what it is.
Hey, listen, you want me to say the pick first? I'll say the pick first. That's fine.
All right. With the 28th pick, at Chops in the D selects
Shedeur
Rudy Poo Candy. Look at these idiots. Go, Pack, go. No, no.
Just drawn out. Brutal.
Green Bay is normally like a defense type team, so maybe they help their O-line or something, but
yeah, I'm just scrolling through the list here, like I'm trying to figure out what I I think they're going Will Johnson here. I hate to say it, but I think they're taking a corner.
It'd make perfect sense because that crazy guy they had who used to be good and then like went cuckoo, and for some reason they kept him the last couple of years. He was never healthy and used to be an all-pro, and I forget his name too, but he like is out the door, and I couldn't even tell you there are other people, so they can't cover a coffee table, that's for damn sure.
Talking about Alexander.
Whoa. Lions on the clock shortly. I just heard.
What?
I just heard that from Rich Eisen. Maybe he's just doing the NFC North rundown, but...
Yeah, I'm sure he's just talking about the rundown. I don't see anything about a trade. All right, Commissioner's back up to the podium.
If it's not Malachi Starks, I'm putting a tweet out saying that's who I want so that people know. I'm going to give them my stack ahead of time so they know what it is.
You got the audio on there, Oakrey? It's a little light. Or are you walking around working the board?
Walking around.
Nice. How's that board looking there, Oakrey? The old magnet board.
Delicious.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, Mike Murphy. Get off the stage, you dweeb.
Cheddarville cheese stick mozzarella, never gonna pick. Let us just torture us. Oh my gosh, they're terrible. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take another wide receiver to make the people happy.
We send up Eminem, they got this Jamoke up there. He'll really get the crowd going.
They are getting jacked. Actually going to make the selection.
Yes!
Oh, no, they didn't.
Bums!
That's
idiots.
Oh, my.
That's like hey, this will be funny, we'll do this for the people. And like, we're all like, yes, good. That's tremendous.
Look, I went, again, you know how I love to name drop. I went to school with Matt LaFleur. What are you doing, bro? You got, what is you think your sixth mediocre wide receiver that you're rolling out there? Like, oh my gosh.
Not to mention that you see the things yesterday. They're very interested in George Pickens. It's like, yeah, add him to your garbage fire you got there. Hey, that's great for us.
That's
Don't
perfect
care.
For us. Perfect for the Lions. That's
Matthew
all that
Golden
matters.
is a good speed player. He's a slot type, and I wasn't as wowed by him the farther we got in the process. So I talked him up early. I cooled on him based on interviews, tape, and other factors. So you can have him, Cheddar Sticks. But Oakrey, he's the top wide receiver. He's a top player. Don't care. Don't care. All right, hold on. I'm sending out this tweet. It took me 10 minutes to spell Donovan Zaraku's last name.
Holy moly. You should have had that all queued up there, Oakrey.
Hey, I didn't expect 8 of my favorite players still be there at 24 here, so I'm giving the people a rundown.
There's only 4 coming off the board, Oak. You're going to be looking pretty good here. You give it to the people over the Twitterverse.
I'm giving them 5 names. Is that good? What'd you say?
Will Johnson, Malachi Starks, Mike Green, Donovan Ezraku, and who's your 5th? Jihad Campbell?
Jihad Campbell.
There it is. I'm absolutely stunned that at 3 of those names, Will Johnson, Malachi Starks, and Mike Green still being here this late at 24 is just mind-boggling to me.
Tweet sent.
My notifications are silenced so that there's no spoiler alerts.
I'm just letting you know. I think that you need to put out a little choppy take. Maybe these are my top 3 players in order, or hashtag what Choppy said early so the people know.
Oh, that means I gotta sit here and I gotta get my list. I mean, again, these are just names. Of course, I mean they're names that are available that I just did not expect at all.
Choppy, hello. It's called the NFL Draft. It happens all day, every day.
I know. These secondary players I was not expecting, though. I mean, I was expecting either Mike Green or as the Raku, like from BC. Those guys were there. Those guys were on my list, but I am just absolutely shocked that Malachi Starks is still there. I mean, Will Johnson is a bit polarizing. You know, we love him because of Michigan, but
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Is that
Malachi Starks is like, dude, I can't. You can't not take him. You just can't. I keep saying it, but like he's arguably a top 5 talent in this whole draft. I don't know, man. It's just not mind-boggling to me.
This is the part I love about the draft, Chops. Remember when the Lions would always get like A+, B+, like best draft, ranking, and because we took like flashy, known players from big schools or guys that were fun to watch, and it never worked out. Like, that's what these guys are doing. They're going cuckoo over this pick, and it's like, you have to have trenches and like legit stuff set up. You can't just like load up on 6 receivers, think you're going to run them all out there and blow the world on fire. Like, it's not going to work long term.
I agree. And again, they aren't even anywhere near needing a wide receiver in Green. That's hilarious to me.
See, I agree with you though, and don't put this on I can't tell you what to tweet, but I put mine in order based on how I have them now, but I'm totally with you, and I'm saying this on the recording, that even though I have Will Johnson higher, and over the process he seemed like the much higher, no doubt, like just talent. Yes, he has the injury concerns, or he just wasn't in the process that much, but I don't want that to really sway me. But I just love Malachi Starks so much as a person that if there's any, I don't know Will Johnson, I didn't really see much from him, so he like loses points, but he just seems like the more, I mean, on our defaults he's 4 and Starks is 18. It's like, we knew he was like a no doubt corner before this year where he got hurt a lot, so I'm torn. Oh, there you go. I'm glad with that because everybody wanted him to the Lions, not me.
Yeah, I'm good with that, man. We're getting into some kooky territory here, buddy.
So all I'm saying is, like, I'm about to actually, maybe I'll tweet it out too, is like just saying how I'm a little torn, and I might go with Starks above Will, but that'll have to be something on the clock if I have to make that decision. But I might have said Will Campbell a couple times. I meant Will Johnson.
We got to trade. I'm trying to tweet. I'm trying to board.
Good. Giants are back in, and that's not for anything but a quarterback.
Quarterback, yep. With Houston, by the way, who I would actually. Yeah. All right. Oh my gosh. I got too much stuff going on here. I'm trying to compose a tweet. I'm trying to get my BPA. I'm trying to get Minnesota with the big nasty tackle, which I'm totally happy with. Thank you. All right. We got the Giants. Trading up with Houston. Originally owned. All right, you know that's got to be for a quarterback there.
Jackson Dart, which again is hey, the coach loves him. We think he's going to do X, and it's like he could boom, but he's
Dart
much more of a
over Shedeur. The highlights, the flash, the swag, the media S show that it is.
What I heard, because Todd McShay went on and on about this, that Brian Daboll loves Jackson Dart. He's not a Shedeur fan. So unless that's Bula Bula, which it doesn't sound like it is, I think Shedeur would be loved by that New York fan base and fit in pretty well, but there's nothing tying those two together. So either or, it helps us. But
all right, I got the sheet updated. I got the tweet going. Too much going on here, buddy. Too much going on. All right, Oakrey, assuming this is quarterback, you got, which, by the way, who was taking a quarterback? The Rams? Like, why does New York need to jump up from, like, that high up? I don't understand. Giants weren't taking a quarterback. Rams aren't taking a quarterback. Baltimore's not taking a quarterback. Detroit's not taking a quarterback. Washington isn't. Buffalo isn't. Kansas City isn't. Philly isn't. Why? What do you need to do that?
Yeah. But you're assuming that everybody just sits and nobody else that might want a quarterback is not jumping up too. So you're always just trying to go get your guy for the right price, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. It just seems silly to me. Like,
unless
there's a big play.
I gotta ask you this, Chops, even though people don't want to hear about our fantasy, like, how itchy do you get in reality sports online drafts? Are you like always like, even though we say hold your water, trade back, like in those, are you looking to always jump up or not so much?
Yeah, I am. Every person who says that they, yeah, absolutely. I'm always itching to get there. Like,
I find myself contacting a lot of people saying like, hey, you know, what would you want for me to get up here? But then I always think like, but don't we always talk about how we just should sit and pick or move back? It's hard though.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't do it to like jump up high, but when those later rounds go and I've got like my guys and I'm like, okay, they may be going, or I get into a spot where like I really love, there's like one receiver that's out there that I still really love, and I want to try to jump up there and snag him, knowing that like the offensive players will come off the board pretty much to the end.
Yeah.
But it is, I do get itchy.
That's what I was just throwing it out there as these real life examples, because these teams, I think, kind of get the I just got to have this guy, and they don't think about who's in front. Hey, these other teams might not need what you need. It's just more like, I got to get him for the right price, and sometimes the right price for you is like not the best for, or is great for the other people because they didn't want to pick anyway, or they just don't care. So it's kind of interesting how it all works. But yeah, I would say, so this is a quarterback. Let's look at the board. This is a quarterback, and then Rams, Baltimore, Detroit. So I'm guaranteed to get Will Starks Green or I don't even have to go down and flip the coin of Jihad Campbell. And the only other person I had on my top 15 or 20 stack that I just threw in there because I love his game and his toughness is Maxwell Hairston, cornerback from Kentucky, who you laughed at me about and said, who? And then he got a lot of first-round buzz, but he'll probably go in round 2. But, again, corner. Do we need it? Do we not? He's just damn good, gritty football player.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, we're to that point now where he's right there. He's in the mix. So I'm not a big Jihad Campbell guy, and I'm definitely not a James Pierce Jr. guy either. So that's craziness. There it is.
Told you. And here's a proving point that as much fun as we have on the mic, as much crap as you give me, I give you a bunch of crap. There is not another player in this draft or in the last however long that has more swag, wears more gimmicks, has more stuff that looks cool than Jackson Dart. He wears eye black like Hutch. He has a bandana. He wears an arm sleeve. He has Jordans. He's long hair coming out the back. He's got the visor. I mean, he looks like everything I love from a swag, just funny equipment type perspective, and he's fun to watch. But I'm saying now that I see him as a Matt Stafford light, like makes all the throws, has some moxie, but never will win anything, never will put up numbers really like Matt Stafford did, but he's also definitely not a bum. He's can throw all over the place, runs a little bit, things like that.
Let me ask you this. I know you just said like a Matt Stafford light. What about like a Baker Mayfield? Like that swag, that drip, that moxie? No?
He's got more like... He's more of a pretty thrower of the football, and the thing that I heard about him that people don't like is he came from Ole Miss, which they just had a lot of like simple things for him, you know. So can he read out D's? But he can throw from like all platforms. He can run. He can fit it in windows. Like if it's open, he can put it on people. But he's Baker Mayfield was more like that red-ass tough guy, where Jackson Dart's like swag, fun to watch, leader, will also go get you a first down with his legs a lot, but also going to turn the football over a lot and look wimpy sometimes, you know, with how he throws it into just a random window, gets it picked, things like that.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely lying to you if I told you that I watched a bunch of Jackson Dart. And
he doesn't even seem like a New York guy. Like he just seems like he would have been great with like the Titans in the second round, or you know, like one of those down south teams that aren't good, rather than the New York market. I just don't see him like that, but I don't know him personally, so.
Oh, Rams are trading. Rams are trading to the Falcons.
Oh no. Well, the Rams usually take our guys, or kind of know who we have similar interests probably, so maybe that's good. Who is it? Atlanta?
Atlanta.
I say Jimmy Crackcorn, and I don't care because I'm going to get Malachi Starks or Will Johnson or Mike Green or Desmond Araku. So I don't care who they take.
Yep. They traded up from 46, so they got somebody they really, really love.
Be prepared, too, that it could be none of these names we're talking about. Like, we could be all hyped about those 4 names and whoever else you want to throw in the mix, and it could be Bula Bula Jones from Gimmickville. I mean, I don't know. Oh, you know who this probably is? This is probably Malachi Starks to the Falcons. He's lived his whole life in Georgia, I just heard. His wife is named Savannah. He's never left the state. That's got to be who it is. They probably know that kid better than anybody. That's a slam dunk pick for them. They just got like a couple older safeties.
They just took
Yeah.
Jalen Walker, too, so he's got that familiarity there.
That's Malachi Starks, bro. He's off the board. Put it, mark it, hashtag it, whatever you do.
I think you're
Shit.
wrong. I'm going to call it. I think they're going up for an edge. I say this is an edge.
They just took an edge.
They're double dipping.
Nope. Malachi Starks.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
When you're separating from the military, no one tells you how hard it can be to get your civilian life up to speed. But with VA benefits, it doesn't have to be. From the VA home loan requiring no down payment, to the GI Bill covering tuition, books, and cost of living, to VA healthcare offering top-ranked, low-cost care designed specifically for veterans, all the support you need is at VA. I'm here telling every veteran because I wish someone had told me, get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. How can you free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders to not only streamline purchasing, but better support their teams so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more about the technology, insights, and support available at amazonbusiness.com.
This episode is brought to you by Principles. Ray Dalio, legendary investor and New York Times best-selling author, wants to pass along his understanding of how countries go broke because he believes the U.S. budget and debt situation needs to be addressed. To give you that knowledge, he has put the draft of his book, How Countries Go Broke, The Big Cycle, online for free. It's available now at economicprinciples.org.
What makes a great pair of glasses? At Warby Parker, it's all the invisible extras without the extra cost. Their designer quality frames start at $95, including prescription lenses, plus scratch-resistant, smudge-resistant, and anti-reflective coatings, and UV protection, and free adjustments for life. To find your next pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to find the Warby Parker store nearest you, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
Oh, great!
Oh,
yes!
Baby!
Even better! Let's go!
There it is, dude. There it is.
Hashtag what
Choppy said.
All right, Chop. So now I really gotta decide between Will Johnson and freaking Malachi Starks. The Ravens just took your boy Hamilton, so they have safety. And they paid what, Marcus Williams or whoever else. They got like 3 or 4 like high end, good paid safeties. So hopefully not Starks. I don't know who their corners are.
Though. They're hurting at corner. They got Nate Wiggins at corner, and then
they just took him. He's good. Who? A bunch of jabrones?
Just a bunch of jabrones. I could totally see them going Will Johnson, and then I'm calling Malachi Starks. That's the play. They could go Mike Green too. Mike Green strikes me as a Baltimore type guy, but they've got Metabuke, and they run the 3-4, so they got, and then Broderick Washington. So with the big nose tackle in the middle. Who is Baltimore going to take? Dude, that Atlanta trade up for James Pierce was huge for the Lions. Huge. Because he was not anywhere on my radar at all. There were a lot of
slappies that were like loving them having that debate, and from day one we were not on that player. And I pretty much guarantee the Lions were not on that player.
No, I agree.
Woo. It's like I'm almost hoping in a weird way that Baltimore takes Will Johnson so I don't have to make the call. Because I'm leaning, I'm telling you now, I don't know what you tweeted out. I did tell the people that I was going to have a hard debate. I am thinking that I'm going to do the bold move of taking Malachi Starks over Will Johnson and playing.
That wasn't the order that you put him in there, though.
Hey, I have the ability to change. That is how I have them until I'm on the clock, and none of that means anything. So I'm just saying. But the reasoning is, if you think DJ Reed's going to be good, you think Terrion Arnold's going to be good, you have Rakestraw, who you just invested in, regardless of how good Will Johnson is or will be or will not be, like, he's going to be in the mix. Maybe if he's great, he would overtake whatever. But I feel, and again, I'm not a coach, I don't know all their in or out workings, but I feel like I can take Malachi Starks and play him, Kerbo, and BB from day one and be a versatile, crazy defense on the back end and cover my butt down the road depending on if I want to make that decision or whatever. I guess I've just fallen in love with safeties too, because they can tackle, they can blitz, they can pick the ball off, they can help your corners, they can do so many things. So that's why I'm leaning. And then we also just have the Will Johnson questions of like health and how much does he love the game and things like that aren't really warranted, I don't think, but I don't know. I don't have enough information to be like, oh no, he's totally healthy and he's going to be a pro. It's more of like, I think, rather than for sure, where I don't have a question at all and haven't for a while with Malachi Starks. I literally turned on his film highlights recently again, and I was just like in love. He comes up and smacks you in the mouth. He makes plays on the ball. He runs sideline to sideline. And then I saw a couple interviews, and that was it too for me.
The diversity of the secondary right now with BB is huge because it allows you to take a guy like Malachi Starks. You can shift him around to nickel. Like, dude, the ball hawk skills of Malachi Starks and Kerbo in that safety position. I mean, again, like you said, he's just loves to hit. Yeah, man, I'm all on board. I'm almost so hyped up now that I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen. And I don't want to be that way. But let me ask you this, though, Creed. Okay, Starks and Will Johnson and Mike Green, the three of them are there. Do you take one of those three, or do you trade? Trade back. Pick up assets.
Oh, I'm picking here. I'm picking here unless, somebody gave me some cuckoo. Cocoa Puffs offer.
Just for clarification, Atlanta just traded pick 26 and a third round pick for pick 46, a 2026 first rounder, and a 2025 seventh. So they picked up a first rounder to trade back 20 spots. Dude.
Yeah, it'd be great, but it's...
Ooh, I would have taken that deal in a heartbeat for them to jump to us.
It's... If the question is, am I taking that or am I picking, I'm probably taking that because there's still people I like and I'm not, in desperate need for a player. But if there's no offer anywhere close, I'm easily picking because I love all these options right now. I thought Ezeraku was going to be best case scenario. He's 4th or 5th for me right now. I got the tweet all queued up, Choppy. I'm sending it in here shortly because I don't think anything that... I can't see the Ravens doing it because they have so much invested in Hamilton, but they love good football players from the SEC, and Starks is a little bit more of a hybrid. Well...
They only have Hamilton.
I think I just heard DJ say Starks for Baltimore.
You think who just said that?
Yeah. DJ's always on it too, especially for Baltimore, because he used to work there and he knows what they want. Here we go. No!
That's a stinger. For him to go all the way down to 27 and be that close. Oh. Dang. Dang. Lions on the clock.
You want to say your pick first?
Yeah. Let me... Dang, man. That was my guy. All right. Choppy pick. Lions, 2025. How much time do I got? I got plenty of time here. I'm waffling. I know what the tweet said. Oh, that was my guy. I was taking him, no doubt. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
I literally can't believe he went all the way down and then the pick before. If anybody but Baltimore is in front of us, they take some other Bumsky McGee.
I would love to trade this pick.
Look at it. He just looks. I mean, damn it. I'm so pissed because they just showed his highlights. He's just like BB almost, with what he does. He looks clean and crispy. But we already have a Malachi Starks. His name is my boy, Brian Branch, in case you didn't know. So, this is what you got to do in the draft, chop. I got to coach you up again. You got to pivot. You got to have other options. You can't sit there and boo-hoo, and I'm not sure, and... All right, the Lions pick is in.
You're crying into the microphone 30 seconds ago, buddy. You were like dead silent for 4 minutes after they said Malachi.
I'm not happy, but I was trying to get the choppy pick. But I'm saying it now. We don't have to say who goes first. You already know.
Nope,
Oakley selects Will Johnson from Michigan. I've been saying it.
See, I knew you were going to do that, so you could give me the whole "you said so" first. That's okay. Then you know what? I'm pivoting. Give me Mike Green, Marshall, edge, 250-pound D-line. Ranked 16th in the PFF or higher. Showed up, showed out. Give me Mike Green.
That's a great pick. I mean, don't pick because you want him to be different. I'm just saying that, I've already been talking about it, and you said, well, how can you go with Malachi Starks when you have Will Johnson higher? It was like, well, when I really kept thinking about it, yes, I would have taken him over Will Johnson if they're both on the board. When one's not on the board, I'm going to take the other guy. And yes, I know we need an edge, but to me, Will Johnson is too good to pass on. I think he'll be fine. And this draft is stacked in edge and interior, so I'm going to try to get that later and shore up my corners. But your pick is the more logical of, hey, Mike Green's productive. He's pretty nasty. He's BPA for a lot of people, It's a excellent selection.
I mean, I haven't even seen them put up where the Lions are at. I'm assuming they're on the clock. I don't know how much time's left. I don't know if their pick is in. They're going gaga over Malachi Starks. I knew this was going to happen. I was going to just be disappointed after that guy left. Made it that far down.
Part of it, let's be honest, is how much I've not only talked him up, but said for a while now that could you imagine? And no, we can't, maybe. And then, I watch more. I love him even more. He's my favorite player. So it's partly my fault by saying all this stuff about him. Maybe he's not going to be that good. I don't know, but
I mean, again, we were both we've been talking about him for weeks though. Early on, he was nowhere on my radar. I've said from day one he was nowhere on my radar because I didn't think he was coming out of the top 10. Nowhere on my radar. I liked him that much. I didn't even factor him in. I want to put you on the spot here though. Tell me right now. Tell me a position or a player where you're man, if that you'll be bummed Is there a guy out there where you're just like, you think might be on the board that's in this range where you just be like, why did we do that? Or a position, anything? I mean, it's a tough question to ask, but
Jack Sawyer. I mean, I don't know. Nobody's sticking out to me on my little short list. I mean,
no.
It's like guys that I either don't think they'll take or guys that I wouldn't really mind. I mean, hate to do it, Jeff Risdon, but Josh Simmons wouldn't be a favorite right here. All right, who's hugging who? Who's in the room?
Yeah, here he comes.
Hey, Sheila the Hamp, I think has Michigan ties. She'd love another Wolverine, so would Aiden Hutchinson. No! Damn it! Okay, Choppy, like, that was the other name I heard late, and that was the other guy I didn't want. Yes, it's a school we shall not speak of, but, like, I kept telling myself, I'm like, I really don't want another one-technique defensive tackle from Ohio State that I don't think he ain't that great, as a former co-host of the Detroit Koolaid Cast used to say. Did I do a lot of work on him? No, but yeah, that Josh Simmons are the two really that jump out to me of, please no. Oh my God.
Oh man, I just don't. I mean, first of all, like, look, I can take the whole what school he went to out of the equation, but why? I mean, again, like, you got Aleem the Dream, you got DJ Reader, you got, like, I just don't understand Levi, Mango, like, you just got Lopez, Broderick Martin still in the mix. Why do I need a big, somewhat penetrating nose tackle?
Like, that's exactly it. The Lions brought him in, they talked to this guy, there's a lot of stuff, maybe they'll take him, like, in round 2 was the hope, or like when I heard about him being picked here, it's like, what do I need another 334-pound interior run stopper for? Oh, but you're not going to get after the quarterback at a high level at 334. I'm just here to tell you it's not going to happen. So they basically took DJ Reader's replacement and a guy to hold the fort down until Honey Bun, a.k.a. Twinkle Toes, a.k.a. gets back. And it's like, no, I don't need another big body. You also hope that Levi will be good. You also need to move Pascal inside, who's a big body. Like, I don't need another. And with that being said, it's like, oh, but we win in the trenches. We beat people up. We're tough. We're physical. We not only already have that, you can find one-tech defensive nose tackle types other ways. God, I hate that pick. And I hate to say it because, Will Johnson can be hurt his whole career and never be good, but you're telling me Mike Green or Ezra Raku or Jihad Campbell aren't better than Tyleek Williams? Get the hell out of here, man. Come on. I'm not drinking that in. I'm not double-sided cornbread in that. And that's usually what I do because we do that on the show and we love our team, but come on.
That's rough, man. I'm not. Like I said,
that's not just rough. Sorry to jump in on you again, but we need the sound bites. Chuck, let them know.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Come on, Brad. Always open for business. You can't love that player that much.
I just don't know. I don't even know where he fits on this team. That's my problem. Like, unless you really think like this dude is going to lock up the middle with, Aleem the Dream, aka for years and years and years. I just don't get it. Why? Like, what's he doing? I mean, he's not a sack guy, right? Like, what do we struggle at? Getting to the quarterback. So he's not a penetrator. 3, I think the most sacks he's had in a season is 3. I don't know. I don't look.
The number one selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
Revolutionize your cooking with the Tefal Infrared Air Fryer. Watch as your food crisps up through a large lighted window and delight in faster, crispier, and juicier results with no preheating, thanks to Tefal's advanced infrared technology. Discover the future of cooking and bring innovation into your kitchen by visiting Tefal.com.
This episode is brought to you by Enterprise Mobility. From fleet management to flexible truck rentals to technology solutions, Enterprise Mobility helps businesses find the right mobility solutions so they can find new opportunities. Because if your business is on the road, they want to make sure it's on the road to success. Enterprise Mobility, moving you moves the world. Find your road at enterprisemobility.com.
Clorox Sentiva smells like lavender. Cleans like Clorox. And feels like...
All right, that could go on for a while. Experience the long-lasting freshness of Clorox Sentiva. Available in Clorox Sentiva Lavender Scented Bleach. Use as directed.
I trust Brad Holmes, but I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
The only thing that we can say is what you just said right there, is that we know little. I can't tell you I watched a bunch of film or highlight. I can't tell you I studied his bio. He actually, like, it's funny you asked me that question right before the pick, because not only was he not on my little short radar of like guys that I was looking at, but I literally the last couple of days, every time his name came up, I was just like, they're not gonna do that, are they? Like, that just doesn't really make sense. He's not really dynamic, in my opinion. He didn't seem like a need. He wasn't a BPA type. So it literally was like every time it was him and Simmons and like, who else did I see there a couple of times? It was like, no, please. But like Luther Burden, there were some people like, oh, get him. He'll just make us incredible. I was like, please no. Like, I love Luther Burden as a talent on paper, but there's a lot of questions. And yeah, so like if I had a redo and you were like, name a couple of names, I would have probably went down my list and been like Simmons and let me look here. Tyreek Williams from Ohio State.
Who, by the way, was at rank like 45 or something, or 50. I wasn't even moving that far down.
Right.
Oh.
And you said it right, that it's not the school. We have fun with that gimmick, but if it was some all-everything player from there, and I'm sure all the experts will tell us how great this guy is and how we don't know what we're talking about, but like, to me, he's not a first round have to have it. He's not a wow. We have this big gaping hole. Exactly. So would I. Exactly. That was more position. I heard somebody the other day who always talks about what positions to take. They were like, man, this position value means nothing to me. I'm like, no, it means everything. That's all you guys talk about. I forget what show it was, but it was like, so a more premier position at tackle, corners get paid more than interior pushing tough guys or run stop or whatever you want to call them. I mean, I'm just looking at the list like, give me a freaking injury risk on Jihad Campbell, please. And I would have easily taken the 2 edge rushers before any of those guys. Chops, I really didn't think we were going to be doing this right now. I thought it was way too easy to pick any of the 4 guys I named, and I'm dancing in the streets.
Yep. I agree.
And instead they took one of the short list of players where I was just like, please no. Please don't do that. Like, I know we might have half a season missing of Aleem McNeil, but I don't care. I care, but I don't care enough to use a first-round pick to hold his water for a while.
Yeah. I just have that feeling where it's like there were so many good options, and when I felt this way before, sometimes it's worked out. So, but I just don't understand what you're doing with all those bikes. Like, is Broderick Martin not on this team anymore? Like, how many D tackles? How many defensive linemen?
I didn't even bring up Broderick Martin because he ain't done a damn thing in the league. He was the guy they had to have, and he's so big, and he's going to do this, he's going to do that.
And again, like, you brought back Miles Adams, you got Wingo, Lopez, Levi, Broderick Martin, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader. How many D tackles are you? I mean,
Chops, you're
9 of them?
pissing me off by reading these names because I didn't even think about Lopez either. You just brought in Lopez because he's supposed to be a dog in the middle that's going to hold up and do some things.
Yeah.
Who's getting the Gatorade out of these 8 people? Because, like, one can play on first and second down. Oh my god, I'm getting like upset, like real upset right now, just thinking about all these names and bodies that are supposed to make us some real tough. I'm looking at this freaking dude too. He looks like an absolute slob in his jersey. Belly all hanging over his belt. Like, this guy must have something that Brad Holmes and Dan freaking Campbell just absolutely love. Like, either he's like super nasty or fits them so perfectly, like...
I mean, the other thing too, like, I don't know, man. Like, when I say Chicago, do you think dynamic running game? No, they're gonna draw some crazy stuff up. When I say Green Bay, do you think dynamic running game that I gotta stuff? No. When I think Minnesota, like, I don't know, man. I can't wrap my head around this right now. I can't. You know, like when I said, is there a position that you'd be upset about if we drafted? I almost feel like this position was right behind quarterback or running back. Like, if there was a wide receiver you love there, cool. Like, not my jam, but I get it. You know, obviously, offensive line, I would even been okay with a tackle that has to sit behind Decker or Penne for a year. Fine. But, like, you literally have 8 interior defensive tackles and probably a 9th with Josh Pascal needing to move to the inside. And now you've added another one. I don't know.
We better be like the greatest interior rush team and run stopping team in this century, because the whole idea of getting edges and getting other things was so that Pascal and Levi and DJ Reader and Lopez and whoever the other 18 names you named off could eat in the middle of that defensive line. Instead, you added another body, you neglected edge, you didn't take a top 10-ish ranked corner. Like, I almost feel like we need to cut the mics because, like, a lot of this will probably come back and bite both of us, but, like, I'm going to have to not only do a deep dive, but try to be objective, because this was not a guy not only on my radar, but as you just said, give me like a top unneed on my list, and it would be yes, I had interior defensive linemen on my list, but it was like last on defense or next to last, and it was for a penetrating sack, like get up the field type of player, dynamic athlete in like round 3 or 4. Yeah, if there wasn't one of the studs, like there wasn't. So why you dipped down and had to have this guy? Like, I'm gonna have to not only find out, I'm sure we're gonna be educated that he's got this and he's got that and he has so much of this we couldn't pass on. We love his character, and it's just like, but you got guys there already. Unless your idea is to like dump all those guys and let DJ Reader go, obviously, and then it's him and Honeybun in your middle for the next 5 years, if you think that's your answer. But still, that doesn't make sense either.
I mean, and again, like, you know, and I know, you know, people are going to beat me up because I was like, hey, if Kenneth Grant is there, you run and take him. Whoa, Choppy, he's an interior defense, but he's an attacker. Like, he's aggressive. He is, like, just dominant up the middle, and he's a total penetrator. Like, this guy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even, like, I'll also put this out there, too. I like Darius Alexander more than I like Tyreek Williams.
Exactly. The kid's, like, 19 years old and a lot of pub, and I heard basically nothing about Tyreek Williams until the very end when it was like, hey, I'm hearing the Lions like this guy.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's, Oakery, this is the tough part about being live on the mic, right? He turns around, he becomes an all-pro, Aleem the Dream's out for the whole year, so he slots right in, and it's like, oh my God, the Lions were so smart. They took Tyreek Williams, and look at what he is now. And like, I hope to God that's what happens, because I feel sick to my stomach right now. Absolutely sick to my stomach. Maxwell Harrison goes to Buffalo. He was my 5th guy before. Will Johnson's still on the board. Mike Green's still on the board.
The other thing that's crazy is, like, I'm going through the old Twitter machine, and, like, I see no reactions and no good reactions, that's for sure. I see a couple people going, well, Aleem is out. Like, Brad Holmes will probably do something we didn't expect. And it's like, I haven't seen one person jumping up and down or being like, great pick, and here's why. Like, it's a bunch of, I don't know. Like you say, we're going to have to revise probably, because it's like, we obviously don't know. This wasn't a guy that I did a deep dive on because I wanted him or because I heard good things. This was a guy on the periphery of my vision. Okay, losing my voice. He's a big body. He's from a school that did okay this year, except they lost to Michigan. He's probably nasty. He's probably tough. You know, those were the things I thought. But it's like, no. Like, because there's so many other needs, because needs matter, because we already have so many big bodies and you've spent money there and you have high expectations. So they either know something we don't or think they know something we don't. But what I know right now is that was not the pick I wanted. I really didn't expect it, other than I had heard buzz over the last week or so that he was a name and maybe, but hopefully later. And
Ugh.
1,000 votes on Logan Lamorandier's poll, and 45% giving it a B, 20% C. The Oakery grade of a D has 10%, and 25% of the slaps that have no idea who he is, but are probably loyal, lovely Detroit Koolaid drinkers. 25% love it.
I'm going to cut you off here and ask, like, okay, Philly and Kansas just swapped picks. Why? Literally, why? What the ever love it? This is the dumbest. Okay.
The dumbest end to what was a great first round that had so much. I mean, you could have done almost anything. Hey, you want to know Tyreek Williams' Raz? Not applicable.
Yeah, because he didn't test, right?
I mean, that's what I'm seeing here from good old Kent Lee Platt, the Raz guy himself.
All B gap. Oh gosh. 1 QB.
Today, the beverage aisle looks a lot different than it used to. America's beverage companies are working together. We're delivering the options everyone wants. In fact, nearly 60% of beverages Americans buy have zero sugar. You'll find more variety than ever, including more of your favorites, now available with zero sugar. You'll also find more sizes and clear calorie information on the front of every can, bottle, and pack. We know when it comes to finding balance, the more choices, the better.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
At Sephora, we've got what you want because you're obsessed with your skin, and we're obsessed with what it needs. Sephora has the best products to help you get beautiful, glowing, radiant skin. With an extensive, inclusive range of results-driven formulas and in-store beauty advisors to help you find exactly which are right for you, the best skincare is only at Sephora. Sephora, for all your skincare.
This Mother's Day, show the moms in your life just how much they mean to you with a stunning bouquet from 1-800-Flowers.com. For almost 50 years, 1-800-Flowers has set the standard for high-quality bouquets. Right now, order early from 1-800-Flowers and save up to 40% on gorgeous bouquets and one-of-a-kind arrangements guaranteed to make her day. Save up to 40% today at 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify. The official florist of Mother's Day.
Hit and 3 sacks in 2024.
1 QB hit and 3 sacks. Oh, God. We got a guy that stands there and blocks.
One batted ball. I'm trying. Look, I'm looking.
Josh is like, is there a stat that I can throw out to try to be nice to this guy?
Is there one stat? Is there one stat that I can just... And again, the great... Here you go. Ready for this? The great Natalie Sparbeck. I'm keeping all the receipts from you bums that are doubting Brad Holmes. I'm keeping receipts. Keep whining and crying. We'll remember. I love you, at Natalie Sparbeck, but the great.
Oh, the great Natalie Sparbeck. Very positive, except when she isn't, which is like some of the time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's where we're going to get proven wrong. Hey, he's a B gap. He's a perfect fit for our scheme. He'll play next to so-and-so. They'll be dominant. They'll stop the run. He's got better pass rush than he's shown in college due to his lack of numbers. He's a dog. He's got Detroit ties. He's nasty. He's gritty. All those things we'll hear. And it's... there's pictures where he looks like, oh, this guy's probably a nasty defensive tackle, and then there's other ones where it's like, who is this slob, 330-pound slob in a 91 jersey that was probably a mid-second round talent that we took at 28 when there were 5 other guys that I easily would have taken blindfolded over this guy.
I could list 15 guys I would have taken over him right now if I'm being...
I'm just saying on our short list, there's... Anywhere from 15 to 30 that I probably would have taken over Tyleek Williams.
All right, well, hey, look, he's on the team now, so... And the other thing that's just going to be a big kick to the gonads on this one is Philly just traded up, and I bet you they're going to take Jahad Campbell, and it's going to be like, how do they just always get players that fall to them?
So let me ask you this to your question. So 2 teams are at the end and they swap with each other?
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally, so that Philly traded up 1 spot, traded a 5th round pick to move up. Was Kansas City really going to take Jahad Campbell?
Right. Or that's almost that gentleman's agreement. okay, we'll trade, but who are you
Yeah.
taking? And if it's your guy, you don't trade. If it isn't, you're just like, oh, a free 5th rounder. but yeah, that's usually it'd be like a team coming up from the second round or like another team in your conference. Instead, it's just like a one spot forward, one spot back for a guy that the other team probably didn't want and that you had to have because they didn't want him. But what's so annoying is that, yes, we all know they're probably going to take Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell's probably going to be a great player. He's going to have no, like, you know, injury concerns. He'll fit in the culture, and, like, he shouldn't be there.
Yeah. You know what, let's, like, this is the thing that, and Oker, you know how I feel about Philadelphia. I hate all things Philadelphia sports. I hate them. I do, like, they're the worst fans in the world. Listen to here, but like you know this, my disdain for them. But guess what? Every stinking year, I look at their draft and I'm like, how did you get? Oh, you know, again, just run the list: Nakobe Dean, Quinion Mitchell, Keely Ringo, Cooper DeJean. I mean, I even like the DN Moro Ajoma from Texas they got. Like, I love all these guys they got. Of course, I didn't, I left out Jalen Carter because he was kind of like Nolan Smith. Like, how do they keep drafting all these guys?
So here's the thing, and like, I can't yell as much as I want to because it's past 11:30 midnight, but they do what we do. They take the high names, the big schools, the easy picks, and most of the time, they work out great.
Yeah. And again, Sidney Brown, Lewis Seen, all these guys. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., another one, a linebacker that I like. Just craziness, dude. I hate that they draft so good. I hate that I like their draft. And they're going to take Jahad Campbell, who no way should have been here at 31. But again, just falling down the board. There he is.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Look at this monster.
All right, what wide receiver is Kansas City taking?
Luther Burden. Luther Burden, for sure. Mark it down. Mark it.
Mark it? All right, well, let's have some fun here because, the first round is wrapping up. It's not exactly who we thought. Again, maybe Aleem being out until, allegedly December was really scaring them and they thought they needed to make this move.
This is what I would say on the positive side. Sorry to jump in on you because I'll be quick. Like, the positive I give it is like the time when we started winning for the Detroit Lions is when we invested in big people on both sides of the line that beat you up, move you, take care of the trenches, and he, based on his size and his position, fits that. And the more of those you have, the harder. Like, a lot of the teams don't want to deal with that in today's game. They don't want to get freaking punched in the mouth for 4 quarters or deal with big bodies just shuffling them around. So I would say that it's another investment in trenches. It's a big body. He's probably nasty and physical, and that's what we sort of hung our hat on, along with the fancy skill guys later and in other ways that have worked out really well. So, hey, I hope it's another hit. I got to trust Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I'm not happy at all, but I love our football team, and I think that it will prove out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
TBD if you ask me, but we'll see.
We'll see. I hope he plays well.
I hope he plays well.
I finished it for you. The other thing, though, again, look, I got a little positive, but then immediately I go back to the negative because what this pick does is this pick tells me that you don't like your pick that you used high investment on with Levi and Broderick Martin. So, like, this pick to me is almost like an admission of those picks weren't that great, which is tough to swallow. Look, if Maliam McNeil can't play until, week, 12, and DJ Reader has had some injury issues, and you're like, wow, man, thank God we've got Williams to put in the middle there with whoever else is filling in, maybe whether it's Josh Pascal or whoever, like maybe they know something. They're not as high as on DJ Reader as we thought, and they know Maleem's more hurt than they're leading on. So to me, in that sense, if I want to say like what justifies this pick, that could be what justifies that pick. But then my retort to that was, you brought in Lopez, you drafted Broderick Martin with a 3rd-round pick, you drafted Levi Onwuzurike with a 2nd-round pick. Are you telling me that those basically weren't good enough to fill the hole that you think you're going to have with Aleem the Dream? That's all. So, and again, Josh Pascal has to get off the edge. So you're shifting him to what? The bowling alley at that point? Again, a 2nd-round pick. So
my quick counter too is like, when did we start drafting, if you're correct, for the short-term holds or what-ifs? This guy in the first round at 28 has to be like a dominant 3-down interior player to be worth that type of selection. He can't be a 2-down run stuffer that plays rotationally. So I don't care how long Aleem is out or what he might be replacing. Like, he has to be so much better and so much more than that. And I just don't think he is. I mean, again, like you said, you're admitting Martin isn't going to work out. You're not going to retain Pascal. Levi's here for a year. But we're going to be better with Michael Williams and Aleem and whoever else we bring in. Like, I don't see him as that type of guy. I would obviously do my DTs different. I would have one big body, a couple penetrators, and young cats in there that can rotate, but they're going for big, nasty, hold the run, be stiff, get after the quarterback in other ways, and we got to trust it. And I see people already on the Twitter. This is what's going to be tough, too, with this, is it's going to be what, you know better than Brad Holmes? Look at what he's done. And it's like, yes, how many times we have to say it? We praise, we joke, we like come on here and give him his props, but if we just love everything, what are we doing? And he hasn't hit on every single thing. And this feels like not only a miss to me, but a bad appropriation of resources. Too many big 320-pound plus defensive tackles, not enough O-linemen, not enough edges, not enough people that can cover a coffee table, in my opinion. My humble opinion.
How many 300-plus pound dudes can you really have? Like, I don't know.
I just gave up on my boards long ago, even before the Lions pick, because I was so excited who we were going to take. But that's the first round, Choppy. Josh Simmons to the Kansas City Chiefs with the final pick. So tackles or wide receivers for the damn Chiefs. And just stud, athlete, prime time, big name guys for the Philadelphia Eagles. And oh, hey, by the way, they're in the Super Bowl almost every year. Imagine that.
Ugh. Disgusting.
You know what's making this worse, too? We're going to have to find a good way to sign off, because I know you got to go, and I'm tired as could be and not feeling well, but, like, this set up so perfectly. Like, we were at 26, 27, and we couldn't go wrong. You could have taken 6-8 players. Hey, good pick. Nice, love that player. Nice fit. Gonna be great. I had not a worry in the world. I'm just sitting here going, whoever they take on my list or these other, like, I'm good. And they took one or two of the handful of players that I wouldn't have been good with. And it wasn't even like, hey, I saw a couple people on Twitter, hey, everybody was picked over, so Brad Holmes does what he does and took a great player that you guys don't like. It's like, no, not really. There were nice pass rushers. There were corners. There were multiple corners. There were other people, even other interior defensive tackles that I probably would have liked. So throw some of that boola out the window. But I think that's why I'm most mad, because as it got closer, I was just in heaven. I was like, we're going to get one of these great guys that we were hoping for, that we never thought would be there. Life is good. And instead, we went the total opposite direction. And my mistake, I got you all hyped up about Malachi. We were all on Malachi. Malachi Starks is the guy. He goes a pick before to a great franchise that's going to use him awesome. and then we do that. Which, for all we know, is going to work out great, and we're going to sound like freaking morons. But, like, right now, not happy and
I know.
frustrated.
This is my retort to that, though, Oakley. Like, it's not like we're... Okay, like, it would be... I would sound like an idiot if it was just like, I don't like him because he went to Ohio State. And, well, what don't you like him? He went to Ohio State. Well, he went to Ohio State. Like, that's sound like a moron, right? Like... We're legitimately giving reasons why do you need 9 off defensive interior players that are 300 pounds? Like, I feel like that's a justifiable question. Okay? So, and again, maybe we sound like quote unquote idiots because Aleem doesn't play at all next year. Or, DJ Reader can't stay healthy and on the field and things work out and it makes sense, right? But again, I will still just continue to go back to like, well, why did you draft these other guys in the first 3 rounds if they weren't really going to fill in? So, and again, this is one of those situations too, Oakley, like every year, I would love to be wrong. Please, let me be wrong, right? Let this guy pair up with Aleem the Dream and win a Super Bowls for year after year after year after year. I hope that I'm wrong, but right now my initial gut reaction is you could have had one of the best corners in the draft, in my opinion, in Will Johnson. You could have had Mike Green, who I thought was skyrocketing up people's boards, somewhere between that 10 and 20 range pick for edge. And you had, and then you had Donovan Ezeraku from BC, who we both thought really highly of. They were there. So, I don't know. Maybe let me give guys will all be nothing. And maybe this is all overreaction. Mike Green that never plays, and Will Johnson can't stay healthy, and Donovan goes to some team and he never, he's stuck behind the depth chart. Maybe that's the case. It really could be. Yeah. But
let me counter with 2 quick things. One, for the people out there that, but okay, Will Johnson didn't even go, and neither did Mike Green, and none of them went that you want. Like, okay, that's a fact. That's true, but also that doesn't mean they're not going to be good. Also, I want to counter and talk to your point is that not only were they there, like, these aren't scrubs. These aren't, like, shots in the dark, that we're talking about. And also, to the good point that I want to kind of circle back to, and we could probably end on this, the best case scenario for me with Tyleik Williams, it doesn't have to do with the school. Obviously, it's not our fave, but that doesn't impact his NFL career. It has to do with what you said. Okay, let's say we got 7 to 9 bodies that are big interior players right now. You can't have that many on a football team. But what you can have is maybe, like, we're not looking at it of, like, Josh Paschal hasn't been what I hoped or what we kind of hoped once we got to know him. So maybe he's, like, going to be moving on after this year. But maybe he has a nice year this year and gets paid somewhere else. Maybe they have come to the realization that Roderick Martin not only will be never more than a project, but maybe he's at best a depth player or working at the bowling alley soon. So there's 2 big bodies that are gone. Lopez, you brought him in, but he didn't pay him much, so maybe he's has a role on the team, but you're not going to count on him. We pretty much know DJ Reader. That's our DJ, even though we love the signing. Didn't do much last year, getting older. Hopefully he can have a nice little bounce back, but pretty much guarantee he won't be around after that. So now we are kind of down to, and Levi, same thing. Hey, maybe he'll ball out because it's his contract year. You pretty much know he'll move on. Maybe he's in the fold if he balls out because they seem to love him. So then you're down to maybe Levi and Tyleik Williams and Honeybun, Aleem the Dream McNeil, and some depth bodies. I mean, I guess I can put that together as like your future at interior defensive tackle, but I guess it comes back to that I just don't value that style and that type of player as much as others or this regime does. But hey, to be positive, you win the trenches, you beat people up. Maybe this guy's way better and does way more things than we know. We need to go do our homework. But on a draft like that fell like that, with a guy that I loved and was my favorite player in the draft going to pick before, and then you do that and flip the script on me, I kind of lost my mind over the last 45 minutes just going through this, of going, just take one of the other guys. And like, not only will I be happy, I think it would have been a more like, hey, we could see that he was highly ranked, you needed an edge rusher, hey, we like Harrison, he's a gritty corner, he'll fit right in with Terrion and company. But to do something so kind of out of that realm, and like I said, all the interior linemen were gone, offensive linemen, so it's like you just went on the other side of the ball. It's not like necessarily surprising, it's just disappointing, because we already have bodies, we have other neat positions, and Brad Holmes always says I take the best player, and I can't imagine that on many other people's boards, fans or otherwise, Tyleik Williams was the next guy that everybody had to have. You know, he's a no doubt, does this, does that, just, you know, foolproof prospect. Like, that's not who I see at all in that person, player, body type, whatever you want to call it. So, Choppy, I think we need to not only do our homework a little bit, but have a little bit of that Detroit Kool-Aid with a double, triple, quadruple sided cornbread before tomorrow. And the other thing I want to say on a positive before I throw it to you for your closing woo-wees and whatever else you do, like, the draft 7 rounds. So let's say we hate Tyleik Williams' pick. Let's say they come back at a stud in round 2, a great player round 3, good 4, don't have a pick in round 5, 6, 7. They do a couple trades here and there. We could still be walking away going, looking at the body of this draft going, man, we got some beasts, or we got a hell of a draft class, because it's not made at 1 pick. So that's where I'll end it. Trust Brad Holmes. Love Dan freaking Campbell. Love our football team. And hopefully I will grow to love and respect Mr. Tyleik Williams, interior defensive tackle, the newest Detroit line.
Yeah, well said, Oakley. I don't know if there's really much more that I can add to that. You know, Tyleik Williams ripping up that, probably thrown in the dumpster, throw it in the fire, that disgusting Buckeye red jersey that he's been wearing, throwing on that delicious Honolulu blue flavored Kool-Aid Lions jersey. It'll look crispy, all right? He might not be able to get it over his gut, but it'll look good. It'll be nice. It'll be very tight. And but look, you're right. The draft is comprised of many, many picks. So I'm looking forward to see what they do tomorrow. We got pick 60. We got pick 102. What a first round, man. You know, one trade up in the beginning, some trades in the back. The Lions get a player that really was not on our radar in the first round. You know, and then I think, again, our darling pick gets taken the pick before us. So, hey, like you said, Oakley, I can't really say it any better than you. Trust Brad Holmes. He's still got lots of Holmes cooking to do. You know he's still in the draft room, rubbing those meat hooks, slapping them together, thinking about what he's going to do at 60, what he's going to do about 102, rallying the troops, getting there. And obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing him go to the podium, talking about what they were thinking, how excited they are to have this guy in the jersey. And welcome to the Lions, Tyleik Williams. And let's catch you right back here. It's not even the next time, because it's like the next day for rounds 2 and 3.
Everybody, drink it in.
Drink it in, man.
Double-sided cornbread.
Cornbread!
And we'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Pack the bag! Start the plane! This game is over! It is over! What a comeback by the Lions! Drink it in, man!